Hi everyone, I'm going to share a craft with you today to help you celebrate Poem in Your Pocket Day. Poem in Your Pocket Day this year is Thursday, April 30th. And just in case you don't have a pocket in your pants or in your shirt, we're going to make a pocket. So I don't have a lot of craft things at my house, so in case you don't either, I just got some paperboard. I've cut this up a little bit already. It was a Kleenex box, and now it's going to be my craft project. So maybe you have something like this in your recycling too. So, and it's good because it's thin. You can use some of the folds. You can cut along some of the folds, which makes it easier to cut. You do need some bright markers if your paperboard is this color. If you have some that's white, that's better. Makes a better surface for all your different colors. So like I said, I cut some of this up already, but I want to cut it down some more. So I have 2 squares plus a little extra, and I'll show you as I go along. So the idea of Poem in Your Pocket Day is to celebrate poetry and have fun with it. So let's see, I gotta think about this for a second. I'm going to just cut across the bottom. You don't want your pocket to be too big, so it's better if you start with a smaller box. I didn't have a very small box. So I'm making, you could do it as 2 squares. I think mine's going to end up being 2 rectangles, but that's all right. So I actually have 2 rectangles plus a little extra left over. And I'm going to cut into that leftover flap a little bit. See, it's nice because it has the fold right there. And I'm just going to cut so that there's kind of like 2 straps there. So if you go to the website, poets.org, you can read about Poem in Your Pocket Day, and they have a lot of poems there that are good for Poem in Your Pocket Day because they're short. So you can fit them on a small piece of paper or a bigger piece of paper and fold it up so it fits in your pocket. So now I have 2 rectangles, could be 2 squares, and each corner of this one square has a little flap. So I can fold it, and then I'm going to fold these later. But first, I'm going to decorate, because I know it's easier to decorate if I do it before I close up my pocket. So I tend to decorate using geometric shapes. So you can put like triangles. Some of my markers have rolled off onto the floor, so I might just stick with one color for right now. Sometimes you could draw pictures that have to do with the poem. I did that on the piece of paper where I wrote out the poem, which I'm going to read to you before we finish. You can do, if you don't want to do geometric shapes, you could do like swirly designs. I'll do like a little bit of curve in here and make it a little more interesting since I only have my one color right now, since the others rolled away. And really I just want to mostly show you how to make the pocket. It doesn't really matter what mine looks like for this purpose. So all I did was draw almost like a spider's web on mine with one color because everything else rolled away. And now I'm going to take these 2 flaps and tape them down. You could decorate both sides of your pocket. I left mine blank, but maybe you want to decorate both sides of it. You could have it at the table. So maybe at dinner time, there could be lots of different poems in there for the different people in your household. And everybody could take a poem and you could take turns reading them to each other. It's kind of a fun thing to do, fun thing to practice. Maybe even memorize your poem. Now, because of the way I cut mine, I'm going to tape up the bottom, but I could have done it differently. So the main thing is to have 2 squares or 2 rectangles, and if you can, leave those 2 little flaps. Just that helps, makes it a little stronger at the top. And I have my poem here. It's To Make a Prairie by Emily Dickinson. To make a prairie, it takes a clover and 1 bee, 1 clover and a bee, and reverie. The reverie alone will do. if bees are few. And then I know it's hard to see on my camera, but I do have a little picture in the corner there of some long grasses, one little clover, and one bee, because that's all it takes to make a prairie, according to Emily Dickinson. I like her poetry because she puts animals in it a lot. Sometimes it's hard to understand what she's saying, what she means, like the word reverie. That's to daydream, to get lost in thought. So here we go. I did the wrong end of my pocket. I made mine a little skinny, so it's hard to fit my pocket in, but there we go, my poem in my pocket. So there I have my poem in a pocket. Here's the one I made the other day. Fits in there a little better. There's a little more pattern on that. And so that's another way to do a poem in your pocket. So if you go to poets.org, poets.org, you can find lots of poems there. You can write out the poems yourself, or if you have a printer, you could print them out, cut them out, and put them in here. Like I said, a lot of those poems are short, so they fit in your pocket easily. You can always fold the paper up if you find a long poem you like. You can also find tumble books and Overdrive on our website, and use the word poetry to search for books that have poems in them. And you can copy poems from Overdrive or tumble books from the poetry books there. All right. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy Poem in Your Pocket Day on Thursday, April 30th.